All right, Rosebud, thanks for coming in today.
Hell yeah.
All right,
I always will.
we got 2 boxes to get through, and
Okay.
here's number 1.
Oh my God. Look at that. That looks like some sort of wedding invitation.
Yeah.
Like a slutty wedding invite. Just.
I'm taking pictures of you. I'm taking pictures of everything. A woman likes to roam. A woman likes to everything.
Oh my God.
Did you know that that's when you enter the archives?
No.
I didn't either.
Oh my God.
I've been sitting on that. It has been so hard not to text you.
This was like the Comedy Met Gala. What was this called? It was at the Creek.
It was the Creek Awards, and it's
The Creek Awards. Yeah.
so it was the Creek Awards, and then also I put out the New Year in Comedy would come out in connection with the Creek Awards, and we did this crazy stuff out front.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I put that down for the viewers.
Oh my God. This is crazy. Oh my God, look at Blair.
Right?
Oh my God. This is wild.
Yeah.
I
So,
remember this so well. Like, I remember it being like a huge deal. By the way, this dress is a dress that I wore for my high school graduation. And I remember holding on to that dress because it was the only dress that I had that cost over $300.
oh,
And
wow.
I kept that dress. Well, obviously since high school graduate, I don't even know when this was. What year was that?
Yeah. So, September 6th, 2015.
September 6, 2015.
Yeah.
So Obama was still in office when that photo was taken.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that this is your first photo and that the Creek Awards, this is either the last one or next to the last one. I think it's the last one.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I remember it being the last one. And I remember that because it was such a big deal to me to like be invited, which nobody was really invited. It was like you could just go.
Yeah.
But I was but to me, I was still such a baby comic at this point. And I remember feeling like the fact that I was going felt like an invite, even though I was crashing.
Yeah.
Like I was still.
But we were so glad to have you there.
It was just like, I mean, it was just this state of delusion where you could take anything that was neutral and make it like a story for yourself when you first start out in comedy.
Yeah.
Like that first time you get a spot at the Knitting Factory, you're like, well, this is it. I mean, next it's a sitcom, right? Anyway. Oh my God.
And I did not remember this either. This is you.
This was at the Bell House.
This is at Littlefield.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Sorry.
It's the Women in Comedy photo shoot in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And Marianne Ways helped put that together.
Yep.
And yeah, this is the one that was in the New York Times. So like the Times was there that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm embarrassed of how we did this.
Wait, this photo was in the Times?
No.
Oh, okay.
That one is, though.
Oh, yeah.
We had you guys sign up and, like with numbers so that we could caption you.
Right.
And then
Yeah. I remember picking out that veil because I had been in a relationship at that point for about 4 years and there was still no ring. And I remember picking out the veil.
Whoa.
To be. Oh my God. Yeah. So the delusion persisted. But yeah, I remember that very well. And we were like dancing at like, I think I was like trying to twerk at like noon at that. I remember that.
Yeah. And we're thinking of doing it again this year because it would be the 10-year anniversary. But what you're holding in your hands is one of the problems, which is we had so many people come, and we were so grateful that we had such a turnout, and it was so wonderful because we did this because we wanted you all to meet each other.
Right.
The point of the shoot was bringing you all together
Yeah.
because at that time, the geography of New York comedy had already changed to the point that I would have someone in here on a Tuesday who'd been doing comedy for 5 years and had never met the person who was in here on Thursday, also had been doing comedy for 5 years.
Right.
And that used to not be possible.
Yeah.
But by the time we get to this date, so many of you, it's not even that you hadn't met, you weren't aware
Of each other. Yeah.
And so we were so ecstatic that there were that many of you.
Yeah.
But I have no idea who is back here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have no idea where you are in that print. I have no idea where you are.
I found myself.
You did?
Yeah. Immediately found myself right there. It's just the power of narcissism.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
So that is one frame from the other thing that we did that day that I don't think anyone ever downloaded or looked at is it's a huge composite image,
Yeah.
and it's where you can see all of your faces better.
Oh yeah, you went like around the room. I remember that. I remember you going like around, what were we in it, like a circle or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, and it worked. It actually came out so cool, but because you had to click through to view it,
Yeah.
you can still go and find this photo today, but you have to look at it and scroll in your internet browser.
My God.
Yeah,
That's
show the kid.
incredible. Yeah. Wow. Oh, I remember this very well. Very, very well. Oh my gosh, and Mateo. Mateo was Joan.
Yep.
Mateo was Joan Crawford and I was Amy, which is crazy because literally 2 years after this, I started opening for her.
Really?
Yeah. But I remember I was Amy Schumer for Shtick or Treat. It was my first Shtick or Treat. And it was kind of a cop-out because, like, you don't really have to do an impression of Amy. Like, you can just dress like her and not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like she has, like, an accent or anything. She just tells jokes. And I remember just going up and, like, telling jokes. Just telling Amy's jokes.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, I'm not an impressionist, and this show is, like, such a great show because you just get to dress up in a costume.
Yeah.
You know, as, like, your heroes. But I didn't have any sort of impression for it, and I remember being, like, really, really nervous about that. I was like, I guess I bring, like a bottle of wine on stage? And I'm like, I don't know, like, anyway. I mean, I did get the costume pretty good.
Yeah, you did. So now we're getting into performance photos.
Mhm.
And, I have always thought of performance photos as like, this is kind of showing that you showed up to work that day.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to make them artful,
Yeah.
but I am always, I don't really think anyone uses them that much anymore, like online, but I still think they're important.
I think they're really useful for, like, tour photos. But I see what you mean. Like, it's almost like, I think they're more useful for, like, actors almost. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is, I really enjoy looking at them because it just, it really reminds you of, like, what you went there for, like, what it felt like to be there. You know, the hang is its own world. You know, it's so social. You're with other people, you're with your friends, you're shooting the shit, you're giving them shit. But when you're on stage, it's such a solo sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it really it's just you. So, and I love this photo because it's like, you can tell that I was either starting or ending. I think I was probably ending the set.
Yeah, I think you're about to walk off.
Yeah, but like, I look so, like, pleased with myself.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This dress is so like 2016. It's wild. Oh, this is another sticker treat.
So that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, are there photos missing? Or what happened that you don't appear in the archives again until the next sticker treat? But what I think is, I think that this was maybe a taping for CISO, and it was done like in the middle of the year.
Yes.
Because the next sticker, so those.
That's why I was nervous. That's why I was nervous.
Okay.
I remember because I was like, I'm not doing anything that's gonna stand out. I was worried that I wasn't doing anything that was gonna stand out. And it was like a taping. And for me, it was like the first taping I'd ever done.
Oh.
I think it was the first taping I'd ever done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to put that down in the archives. So yeah, that was in June of 2016. And the next photo is from, let's see, 10/29/2016.
So they were both in the same year.
Mhm. Yeah. So there must have been 2 sticker treats that year.
Yeah.
And I've literally blocked that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the taping for CISO,
Yeah.
which is no longer with
longer.
us. And then we did one just for us. And I was Maria Bamford.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. Very Maria Bamford. Oh.
Yeah. So these are interesting to me because this is at a venue called Faulkner.
Uh-huh.
And it was for a show put on by Lucas Kaiser. This is from December of 2016. And I love these photos just because they show you showing up in a room that sat, oh my goodness, 20 people
Yeah.
tops
Yeah.
in that room. And they're not.
Sparsely. By the way, sparsely. I don't think that it was like sold out or
No.
anything. It was like maybe 12 people in the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is the last time that we have you in a room that small.
I remember this photo. I remember this photo really well. I really loved it because I looked so tired. But that it wasn't like in a bad way. It was like I remember I had this day job that it was like my first day job that gave me health insurance, and like it was like I wrote articles. And so it was like a writing job to me, and I felt like a writer. And I would go to my writing job, and then I would rush home, and I would walk my dogs, and then I would go do spots. And I was exhausted. And I mean, hilarious that that was exhausting to me now, but it was a lot. And I remember feeling like, oh my God, I'm like being responsible, and I'm still like showing up and doing comedy, and feeling like, that like pink cloud that I was on when I first started, like started to wane, and it started to feel like, okay, this is tough. Like this is work. I'm really working. And I don't know if any of it's going to pay off. And I felt a little like I was unhappy in my personal life, my relationship, and it was just like a tough time. Where I felt like I had been putting in all of this work in all these different areas of my life, and all of it was kind of like leading to like where, you know?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you say you were 3 to 5 years in comedy at that moment?
I started comedy in 2013. And so yeah, I was like 3 years in, which is hilarious, and I'm like, "Where are the results?"
But no. So this area,
Yeah.
this 3 to 5 years in,
Mhm.
is my area of most concern because this is where we lose people.
Mhm.
This is where your friends who have day jobs, your friends who aren't comedians, this is where they go away.
Yeah.
This is where it happens. Your first year, they'll still come to a show, they'll come to a bringer show.
Yeah.
You start getting 3 years in, you're going to those shows alone,
Yeah.
and none of your friends are showing up.
Yeah.
And also, 3 to 5 years is when you have to start thinking about your finances
Yeah.
and a day job and whether you're gonna jump or not.
Right.
And so that is why I am still out at shows,
Yeah.
because 3 to 5 years in, you probably can't afford to come in and do photos, but you need them the most
Yeah.
at 3 to 5 years.
I mean, all of these photos were all photos that you took of me for free at shows or at events, like, I mean, I guess the Creek Awards was a show. Women in Comedy wasn't a show, but it was like it was a thing, it
Yeah,
was a comedy
but
thing.
that is, again, that's part of the reason why we did it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think 3 to 5 years in is such a, um it is such a do or die time,
Yeah.
and the amount of support that you need there, I think that's the most important time.
Yeah.
Because once you get to a place where you're 6 or 7 years in and you have a manager and you have maybe people to help you on the back end, you're kind of rolling along.
Yeah.
3 to 5 years, there's still no results,
Right.
and you've sacrificed so much.
Oh my God. Yeah. I remember just being like, oh my God, I totally devoted my life to something that's absolutely not profitable. And I don't know if I'm funny. Like, I feel like maybe I could be, but I don't know if I'm funny. I'm like trying to be funny at this day job that I have, but they like won't let me. So it was just like this, and you can like see it in my face. And I remember like really liking that photo, not from like what a great promo photo I can use, but like what a snapshot of like where I was at. It's like such an honest photo. So I really liked that. I don't remember this at all. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wait, this
yeah,
is this
Okay.
when I was Jim Gaffigan?
yeah,
This is Jim Gaffigan from Stick or Treat.
yeah.
Okay, hold on. This is wild. First of all, I obviously really committed to the character here. And that is kind of like my resting face.
Yes.
So,
And
yeah.
then this was my favorite, Robert Dean.
Robert Dean as Mork.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's wild. So many shtick photos. So many Stick or Treat photos.
Do you think you were passed at the cellar yet here?
No.
Okay.
I know for a fact that I wasn't. Because when was this? 2017?
Yeah. Shtick, 2017.
2017. Wow. Yeah.
So that's the thing. You're not in the archives from December of 2016 until, October of 2017. Had you started touring?
No. No, I hadn't. I remember that time being spent a lot at New York Comedy Club.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got passed at New York Comedy Club like around 2016.
Okay.
And I remember being there almost every night.
Okay.
From like 2016 through to like 2018, which was when I first auditioned for JFL,
Okay.
I think. And I was working that day job. So I was working this day job in Flatiron, and New York Comedy Club was as close. It was the closest venue to Flatiron. So I think I was probably just there. I wasn't doing as many shows like out in Brooklyn or at bars or like in different venues. I was really just like hitting this one club over and over and over again.
So that is a personal theory that I have, and I'm
Mhm.
very curious what's going to happen as we interview people. I always think it's usually, not always, it's usually a good thing when you don't see someone for a stretch of time,
Yeah.
because it means they're in a club or they're on tour or they booked a TV show.
Right.
And then you see them reappear again.
Yeah.
It's usually something has changed.
Yeah.
So that's like your first kind of large gap. And it's interesting to me that it's because you're at a club and
Yeah.
you don't need a bar show in the same way anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
This I don't remember at all.
Yeah, this is I think I wanna say this is also the same Stick or Treat.
I remember that's Katie Hannigan, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is also
I
Stick or
remember
Treat.
Katie Hannigan calling those her Medicaid glasses. I remember that because now it's, like, become part of my vernacular. It's like when I see glasses like that, I call them Medicaid glasses because of Katie. Oh my
So,
god.
yeah, we have some performance photos of you as Jim.
I really committed to this.
Yeah.
I was really committed. Oh my god.
Yeah, so this is first studio photos here,
Yeah.
and it makes sense that you would have needed to come in. This is,
Right before my Caroline's, what did they call that? Was it Caroline's
oh god,
breakout breakout artist?
something.
It was like a Caroline's breakout artist, oh, fuck, I can't.
Yeah, so this is November 2017, and actually only like a week after Stick or Treat.
Yeah, so Caroline's would give artists an opportunity to, like, I mean, stand-ups. They would give us an opportunity to headline, and you'd get, like, 2 shows in one night, and whenever you got your I think it was called breakout artist, you would just be pushing tickets, like, as much as and this was back when, like, you had to, um, like, write to, uh, not New York Times,
Time Out New York.
Time Out New York, yes, you'd have to write to whoever you knew at Time Out New York, and you'd have to pitch yourself, and I was, like, pitching myself to whoever I knew that worked at Time Out New York, because usually whoever was working the comedy section in Time Out New York was, like, comedy adjacent or was a stand-up. So, I remember reaching out to them, getting that listed in and I needed photos. I was like, "I need photos to get this listed and to promote this show, and I need the photos to be, like, eye-catching. I need people to look at me and go, like" I wasn't even concerned with them thinking I was funny. I was like, I don't care." I was like I remember coming in and being like, "Mindy, I just need to look hot." I was like, "I just need to look hot. I don't care. They'll find out I'm funny once they get there. Just make me look hot." And you did it. You really did it. We did I mean, it's so funny because it's like, I literally look like I'm a Celine Dion cover artist. And
This is still an all-time
it's still
fave.
just like an all-time yeah, it's such a great photo. And you've told me that people come in and ask for that background.
Yep, and I think you're the only person who got a photo on that background.
Yes.
I think maybe you told me ahead of time you were coming in with gold,
Yeah.
is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've brought up a couple of things that are pieces of comedy infrastructure that no longer exist. So one of them is CISO, which for a while was helpful to what we'll call the comedy middle class.
Mhm.
It was something that gave you uh, a little bit of stage time. It gave you experience taping something, and it gave you a small amount of income.
Yeah.
Right. And that's gone. And then the other thing is, I don't know that people realize how much we lost when we lost comedy advocates at Time Out New York,
Yeah.
because they used to be really responsive. And there used to be a feature called Joke of the Week.
Yep.
That was so helpful
Yeah.
to so many comics.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you could take that, you'd take a picture of it, you'd put it on your Instagram, and it was like it wasn't even about spreading the word to the world, it was about spreading the word to other comics. Like, and that's how you got bigger, was just, like, earning the respect of other comedians.
yeah. But also, people did pick up physical copies of Time Out New
That's
York
true, yeah.
and look at them for something to do.
Yeah.
That and the Village Voice are both things that helped get a few butts and seats
Mhm.
that are now gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this one too, just serving armpit.
So the next photo is from July of 2018.
Oh my God.
This is at the Bell House. And
Fuck,
yeah.
I missed this shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what this is? You did Las Culturistas.
Yeah. I was so nervous because I had been in the clubs so much that showing up for Las Culturistas felt like, oh shit, like, am I gonna be okay for this? You know? You can tell I wasn't having fun because I just was worried about fitting in with that crowd. Like, that was my main concern, was fitting in. It's funny because I've always really thought of, like, the alt scene as, like, the coolest kids. And I never felt like I've fully, like, fit in with them. And the club scene, you know, I always worked the club scene. That was, like, where I was, but I always really wanted to be, like, an alt comic because the thing about alt comedy that I really, really respect is that I can watch an alt comic and I don't know how they're doing what they're doing. Like, I get how a joke is written.
Mhm.
I can see how you did that. I know, like, it's like watching a magician when you know the trick. But when I watch, like, an alt comic that's, like, killing, I'm so in awe and so mesmerized, and I'm just jealous, and, like, I'm like, "How did you do that?" Because I know that you bombed that way
Right.
for a while. Like, I know that wasn't funny when it started,
Yeah.
and I can't think of anything more embarrassing than bombing with what is now with what I'm watching right now, which is killing.
Right.
Because it just requires such a level of, like, commitment to, the bit and to yourself. So I have always just kind of been really, nervous around that scene, and you can totally tell. I mean, I am not smiling. I'm even a little bit.
Yeah. So speaking of alt comedy, the next photo is from Union Hall in August of 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
that's you and Sam Ruddy and some pizza.
Yep. Yeah. I still have this shirt. I love this shirt.
I'm wondering what material you would have been working on in 2018. Uh, do you know when your first, like, special came out?
My first
Are we
special
there
came out
yet?
in 2020.
Okay.
This would have been, you said August of 2018?
Yep.
When was JFL?
Uh, that's usually, I wanna say it's July.
Yeah, so it would have been right after I did JFL, and I had got, like, my first real, like, on-camera gig, and it was that documentary called Inside Jokes, and, we shot it for Amazon, for Prime Video, and they had filmed me from, I guess, 2017, like, middle of 2017 through the summer of 2018, and filmed my set, and filmed, like, the auditions and working on the set up until finding out if we were going, and then the trip to Montreal.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary. You should absolutely check it out. Robert Dean also in that.
Robert Dean was in it, yeah, and Simon Gibson, who I saw this week in Portland, because I was on the road in Portland and stopped and just did a little gig, at, like, this improv theater, and Simon was there, and he was like, "Oh, no, I think I locked my keys in my car," and he, like, runs out, and he's like, "Oh, thank God." He's like, "I was stupid enough to lock my keys in my car, but I was also stupid enough to not, lock the car." He's like, "So the keys were there." He's like, "But luckily, I was dumb enough to not lock the car at all." Yeah. Oh my God, I remember, like, so well just this period of time in comedy for me. I felt like, okay, things are starting to pay off. Like, things are starting to, I quit my day job. I got the check from that uh Amazon Prime Video thing, and I'd gotten a manager at Montreal, and I remember feeling like, "Oh, this is how it's supposed to go." Like, okay, this is starting to now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas, you know? Um, I just felt so fucking good about myself. I remember that. I remember feeling really good about me.
Yeah, I feel like you can see it in that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just really I felt, um, confident.
Yeah. So these next ones are from the Bell House.
This is 51st Jokes?
So this is August 26, 2018, and it's a show called 50 Lady Bits. I believe Sachi put that on, and it's an all-woman show.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think by this point
Sachi's a manager now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have her on.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Good.
But by this point, I don't think you needed this kind of show, and what's interesting to me, I think you're there, I would say, for the love of the game in these,
Mm.
and, yeah, I don't think you needed to be on a 50-person show at this point in your career.
It's funny, I never thought about it like that. I never have thought about, like, do I need to do this? It in a sense, I always need to do it. I always need it, and
Yeah.
I just I like getting on stage. I'm a real, stage pig.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Have you ever heard the parable? I don't remember which, like, fable this is, but have you ever heard the one about the bull and the boy?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna get this so wrong, but, basically this kid, while he's a kid, the bull is also, like, newborn as well, and every day he picks up the bull, and as he grows and as the bull grows, he lifts him up every day, and so when he becomes an adult and when the bull is an adult, he's able to lift up the bull because he's been doing it this whole time.
Yeah.
And I think of art is that.
Yeah.
If you're doing it every day and if you're building up your skills, you're always gonna be able to lift up the bull,
Yeah.
right? And so I will do a show in a bowling alley
Yeah.
because I'm gonna have to think quickly. I'm gonna have to get portraits in under a minute. I'm gonna, like, have to find the best sight lines and move around the crowd, and I will be fast and very good
Mhm.
when I'm doing a special,
Right.
right? So it's all, being able to lift up the bull,
Yeah.
right? And I think this is why I get along with comedians.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just this, like it's an impulse. Or really a compulsion is that's
I
really a
think that
better
is
way
a
to say it.
portion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a compulsion.
Yeah, I agree.
An addiction, a compulsion, whatever you wanna say.
Yeah.
These are great.
Yeah, these are just some fun, again, I would say this is why I'm still at the shows, because these probably refreshed your promo photos for a couple of months.
Mhm.
Probably were able to use it on a thing or two.
Yeah.
And yeah, just cute.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mindy. I mean,
And then this is, yeah, you with pizza. We got two photos of that. I don't think that's about you and pizza. I think it's the only thing served backstage.
yep, yep. Yep, I remember this. Everybody was leaving. Like, everybody had left, and there was pizza left over, and me and Christy and Maria were all eating pizza, and you were on your way out the door.
Yeah, and I will say that this era is probably one of the last times it was already getting difficult. People almost won't let me do a photo like that anymore. Everybody wants, like, the quote unquote Mindy after the show, that single shot. And I wanna give it to them, right? I want you to have that. I want you to have that photo that you're gonna be able to use for promo and stuff. I want you to have it. But I'm also a little, I don't know, a soupçon, if you will, of a historian.
Uh-huh.
And I'm interested in who was all together at the venue at the same time, who was working at the same time
Yeah.
in the city.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. But whenever I try to take basically an establishing shot, like backstage at the Bell House or something, and I'm trying to get a shot of like who all is backstage,
Yeah.
and they begin to form a line for the portrait, and I'm like, I get that. I get that impulse, but also I just want to be able to take a few of those
Yeah.
at every event, and it's harder and harder to do.
I know. I feel like it's just gotten to be so commercialized.
Yeah.
Is kind of that's the word that's coming to mind. Um, everyone is approaching it in such a like you got all these comics that are working like more like lawyers than like comics, you know?
Yeah, I have had people, look at me strangely when I'm just trying to have a little conversation with them,
Yeah.
and it's like, take the pic, take the pic. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right,
Jesus.
just asking
That
how
sucks.
you feel about your set.
That just fucking sucks. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So this is May of 2019. We're at Littlefield,
Mhm.
and gonna see an appearance of, I think Robert Dean is in these
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
well.
Here he is. Hold on.
Uh,
This is Robert right after. I think was Robert doing his show?
so you're absolutely right. Your memory is spot on. This is Robert doing a show at Littlefield, and you showed up to support.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see that by you more than once in the archives. You showed up for that.
Yeah. And there's Josh. Yeah, he had asked me to do a spot
And that's the last time I see you before the thing happens.
before COVID.
And we're gonna cut to
Wait, what year? What date was this? Do you remember?
Yeah, so it's May 2nd, 2019.
Okay. Wow. Let's see. I met Andy in Andy and I started dating in like November or October of 2019. So
Wow.
a few months after that. And then in this next photo, I had just gotten married. I married Andy, and then when was this, 2021 or 20?
That's pretty much the first show post-lockdown, and, that was at a parking lot.
Yep.
This is before the vaccine, so if I do a show, this is definitely one that's gonna get blown up pretty big because you can see in the audience, um, everybody's wearing a mask. This is June 8th of 2020, and it's
Oh, so it's right before I got married. I got married in September of 2020. So this is, wow.
yeah, June 8th, 2020. It's in a parking lot close to the Creek in the Cave.
In Long Island City.
Yeah, Rebecca put it on.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was grateful she called me for it too. I was so glad to be there and so glad to see everybody. I didn't cry, but I teared up a couple of
I did
times
too.
that day,
I did too.
just seeing people again.
Yeah. I remember
And
that.
I had missed everyone so much.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is you and Che,
Yeah.
and are you guys working together by this point?
Well, Che and I went on the road with Che for a whole summer in 2019. So me and Che and Saifa were all on the road together for the whole summer of 2019. And the COVID stuff happened. And I didn't see him for a long time. This was the first, maybe, no, not the first time, but I hadn't seen him in a little while. I remember I hadn't seen him in a few months. What a bad person.
And then this next one is really interesting to me. It's not that it's a great photo, but it's you doing comedy on a rooftop. Um, this is July 30th of 2020. And speaking about the compulsion to just keep going,
Yeah.
this is pretty much it. Like, look at this wide. So this is it's a Turk's Inn,
Uh-huh.
and they had been doing the show inside. They've got a gorgeous showroom in there, but this was on a roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
Barely remember this show. Like, I barely remember. I kind of remember it, but I mean, I remember seeing you, but I don't remember. Was Shane there?
yeah,
Okay, Shane was there. Yeah. Shane Torres was there. I remember seeing you and I remember seeing Shane Torres. But yeah, I mean, this is like, yeah, I was getting pretty lax with the masks. I was just putting fucking bandanas on. Oh my God. This is just like such a time capsule.
yeah. And that's kind of why I was out at shows even then, is Jen and I were having to carefully weigh, like, okay, if I get sick and then I miss jobs, we might lose the studio.
Yeah.
So we were trying to put me in the safest conditions possible because we were also trying to hang on to the studio during COVID. And so I was going to shows with like a medical grade N95.
Yep. I remember
And
that.
and like it's like you don't have time to explain to people, like, at the end of the day, I'm doing this for you, right?
Yeah.
But I was,
Yeah.
because we somehow magically we got, I want to say it was 3 book covers during COVID,
Yeah.
and they were enough to keep the studio open, which is bananas.
Yeah.
And then the next photos that you have is when, thank goodness we did keep the studio because you came in.
These are for Whiskey Fists.
Yep. This is May 24th, 2021.
Yep. And I shot Whiskey Fists in March of 2020. And it was coming out in June or July of 2021. And this photo was inspired by George Carlin.
Yeah.
Because I was like looking at like photos that I really loved. And there are these photos of like George Carlin and his album,
Class Clown.
yeah, Class Clown. And I loved those photos. Yeah. I really loved this shoot. I liked this shoot because it was so different from, like, I mean, check out the difference between, like, in terms of, like, just my level of comfort.
Yep.
Between, like, this and this, it was, like, just in terms of, like, how hard I felt I had to sell myself, this was just so much more relaxed.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my God. My girl.
Yep. So this is South by Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the backdrops from that year. I have different feelings about different years on the backdrops, but
Me and Blairy.
yeah, so that's going to be March of 2022.
That was right after I started working at SNL.
Okay.
Yep. This would have been like one of my first breaks after SNL.
I think you may have been there for 2 days.
Yep.
Because we have some costume changes and stuff. And I do love those post-pandemic South by years.
Yeah.
It was just so emotional to see everyone. Even when we get to 2022, it's still like
Wow.
such a trip to see everybody.
I love my choice of pants there. This photo I used for a while.
Oh, good.
I remember using this photo. This one right here. Wow. Oh, yeah, and these were I think this was when I was opening for Sarah Silverman?
At South by?
Yeah. Or no, Moon Tower.
Oh, no, these are South by. You're
Oh, these are
still
South by?
Yeah, I think this may be a different day.
That's cool. I was wearing the merch to the thing. I was literally wearing a South by Southwest t-shirt that I bought there.
Yeah, so by then, you already had kind of a lot going on, and the next time that I see you is this day, which is
Oh my god.
taping your special.
Yep.
And this photo, you can barely see you, but this is you outside the venue before the taping. And I almost never can get an establishing wide like that, but
Yeah.
I ran across traffic.
Yeah. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Mateo. Nick. God.
So this is you shot one part of a stand-up special while pregnant,
Yes.
and it was so great. Uh,
So pregnant. So pregnant.
so yeah, I mean, I think for a book, we probably only need one photo showing that you're pregnant, and I tried to narrow it down. There's a couple hundred photos from that day,
Yeah.
but I'm like, dude, I don't know. There's several that I like, and there's some closer up shots of you outside the venue that I also like.
I mean, these pictures, outside of just being like pictures of my special, they mean so much to me, you know? I mean, I never did like a maternity shoot, you know? I wasn't, I was trying to like work at SNL and like get a special together. And I remember I was in the middle of writing my book. And everything was like changing so rapidly. Like my life was just changing so rapidly that I never thought to be like, oh, let me get like photos of me pregnant, you know? Because I'm like, I get photos of me pregnant all the time. But these ones really, really meant something to me.
Oh, to me too. I was genuinely like, I was nervous. I mean, I can shoot a special in my sleep, especially a special at this location. I've done umpteen of them,
Yeah.
but I wanted to nail it so badly. I wanted to get it right so badly because it was such a big deal and because I knew how much you had going on also.
I was so like, it was so weird to shoot something where like I felt, oh my gosh, look at these. I love these. And I love that we got a photo together.
Only one. It's the
I
only one.
know.
I think we have some from like some phone photos later on, but yeah, it's the only one on like the camera.
Oh, and here it is. Here's the infamous one half of my special cover. This was the one that we went with, right?
Yeah.
I love that I left the Fitbit on. I just completely forgot I was wearing a Fitbit through my whole special.
So that is box one. All right.
So this is 2015 to 2023.
And
And this
box
is,
two starts with 2023.
how is it not still 2023? That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, how is it been 3 years?
I don't know.
Okay.
To me, it was yesterday for sure.
That's so upsetting. Okay. All right, this
This is you backstage at the Bell House. You hosted a book release party for
Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is for Jesse. I remember that.
This is November of 2023.
Do you have an exact date?
November 7th. So that's going to be the first
This would be the first time that I did stand up or did a show. I wouldn't call it stand up, but I did a show after having my baby. It was 4 weeks postpartum. And I remember it being a big night because it was also the first time that I was able to wear jeans in months. And I was obviously very happy about it. That was November of 2023.
Yeah.
And then I went back to work at SNL for all of that year and was still doing spots here and there. But for the most part was like going to work and going home and waking up my daughter and having frozen cherry parties in the kitchen. And then that season ended, and I think that season ended in May 2024. That season ended. And in September of 2024, I shot the second half of my special, The Mother Lode, with my daughter there. There's Morel doing my makeup.
Yeah, so this is September 19th, 2024. And some great behind the scenes of you and Minnow.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
I know.
God, she was a cute little squish. Here's my
Really
set
great
list.
outfit.
This is my set list. I remember buying that outfit on Instagram before she was born and being like, she's wearing this to my special taping. Because it was like so like Saved by the Bell. Yeah, these are so backstage. Like,
Yeah.
all of these are so like getting my hair done, getting
Yeah, and I'm glad I did those because he does your makeup for the next thing that's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christina did my hair for the next thing.
Yeah.
And
And
you
then
just start to learn, it's funny because like over time you just like develop these relationships with like people that you collaborate with. And, you know, there's certain ones that you're like, you just keep going back to, you know, like you and me. Whenever I have something, I'm like, well, it's going to be Mindy because that's who I work with, you know? And you just sort of assemble like a team of Avengers.
yeah.
Yeah. So these are the live photos from the second half of my special.
Yeah, and again, there was like more than 200 photos to get through, and so I just kind of pulled.
I know, I love all of them. It's so hard.
I was just like, if I was gonna have to pick one, which this was me trying, and there were so many.
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
I mean, I'm not helping you out here at all. If this was an attempt to like narrow things down for the book, we're gonna have to go through again. Because these are all so good. I mean, I just love all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put this one down. This is my sister, Mary Stewart.
Yeah.
These photos I love so much. Because these, I mean, they're not the live photos, but like these, like the second that the taping was over, just like loving on your friends and like, it just felt, look at Alex.
So yeah, we have people from the show popping up to support.
Sydney, Chris. I mean, it's just. And then walking around the corner after.
So this one to me, yeah, we're not at the one I'm obsessed with yet, but yeah, crew photo.
Crew photo.
Yeah, and like these, I'm like, okay, they can live on the website, but I don't know that we have to put them in the book. Like I can edit out that.
Yeah.
But then look at everybody together. Sweetie Pie Che showing up.
I know. You know, he really hates people to know it, but he is a good dude.
He really is. Sorry
You
for
know?
blowing your cover.
Sorry, Che. Sorry, but you're a sweetie pie. And everybody knows it. Even though I'm clearly fighting with him. I think he came up and he was like, "Hey, you know, it's okay. You'll get it next time," or something like that.
When the reality of this night was that this special was supposed to be a two-parter, and it is. If you watch it on Netflix, it's two specials edited into one special. It's Rosebud before having the baby and Rosebud after the baby's been born, right? So in one she's pregnant and then another she's not, right? The second taping was so great. It was so wonderful that after the first one, all of us were like, how will you edit that?
Yeah.
What do you cut
Yeah.
from this absolutely perfect hour that we just saw? Everyone's working for a perfect hour. We just saw one. We also were here for the other hour. And so pretty much after the show, I remember being with you at the cellar and just being like, I have no idea what you will do.
I remember telling you I have no idea what I'm going to do.
No
Because
idea.
I had this concept, and what ended up happening was Kelly Lyons, who is awesome. She's my editor. She worked at SNL for a number of years. She's edited all of Mulaney's specials. She's worked with Bill Burr on Drop Dead Years. She's incredible, and I knew I wanted a female editor, and and that was like the most important to me. And she was a mother, and she'd worked at SNL. So
Wow.
I knew that she would be able to like take something and be like, see what you can do here. You know what I mean? Like, and not get overly attached to anything and just like kind of fly by the seat of her pants. So I told her, I was like, look, the first hour, I'm proud of it. The concept, I'm proud of. I was like, but if the concept is getting in the way of funny, and if the concept is getting in the way of just telling the story, fuck the concept. I was like, just cut the second hour. You know what I mean? And just leave it as like a second hour. I don't care. It's fine. So then she provided me with two different cuts. One was of the first and the second hours together, and I just following the arc of that second hour. And the second was just the second hour by itself. So she gave me two different specials. She cut two different specials, and she was like, which one do you? And I was like, well, now I've got a real embarrassment of riches. Now I'm like, oh, boohoo, my crown's too heavy. You know, like I was like, this is almost making it harder because I love both of these. And she was like, well, then just go with what's more interesting to you. And I was like, well, the cutting back and forth to me is more interesting.
Yeah.
You know? And I thought, well, what if people don't get it? Like, do I need to like put, I don't know, like a thing ahead of it? Like, hey, these two were filmed a year apart from each other. And then I thought, like, you can't really start a comedy special with like white text on a screen. It looks like a true crime documentary. So I just was like, the people that are going to get it are going to get it. And the people that don't get it don't matter. Okay. You know? So that's kind of what I went with. But yeah, I remember this night. I remember being like, wow. Like, I am not one to walk off stage and be like, I nailed it. But that was the first time that I've walked off and been like, holy shit. Like, everything that could have gone right went right.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what a fucking stroke of luck. Like,
And you'll get off stage and you'll have a note for yourself. I've seen you do it. Like, or I should have zigged when I zagged or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've always admired that because I'm that way about photos. I'm like, yeah, it's great, but I should have or I could have or whatever. I feel like that's how you get better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that night there was nothing, even for the most
Cynical.
person, there was just nothing. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, honestly, I would have shot it on film if I had the money, but that's it. That's my only thing. That's my only and then this is the last joke. This is my closing joke from the Mother Lode.
Yeah, so that one, I think if I were to do a show, there's like a couple of those where you can see the crowd, and I think printed larger could be really cool.
Yeah. I really like that.
But I think you look fantastic there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all like
Yeah, and even this is like it's narrowed down.
I love this one because it just feels like the VU. It just feels so much, you see that reflection right there. There's that mirror behind this.
Yeah, it's a great venue.
Yeah.
But this next one, if I had to pick only one photo, like I could only do one, it's this one.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's you, and you did well.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah, I've got real I just finished my ballet recital vibes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the look on the face, and it's just I also really love we know we're in New York.
Yep.
We know somebody walking into an art gallery, they know nothing about anything.
Mhm. They know that's in New York.
They know it's in New York, and they know something great has happened. They don't know what.
Yeah.
But I love it.
I love it too. I love it too. I remember just feeling like I don't know if I've ever really felt like proud of myself, you know?
Yeah.
Um even having a baby, you're like, what the fuck was that? It wasn't like a feeling of like, I'm so proud of myself. It was like, what did I just go through?
Yeah.
But this, I was like really proud of myself. I was proud of like what I made.
Yeah.
Like I set out to do something and it took so long to get there. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to sell this special and it's going to take a long time to make and it's more expensive than it needs to be, but it's what I want to make. And this is how I want to tell the story.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I love that moment. And then we just have a couple. I think I only printed out one of these. And then this is ultimately our kind of preferred cover
Yeah.
that went out in some places, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next photos are you back at the studio.
Can I just, for a second,
Please.
like,
Yeah.
that's so crazy.
So that to me is the project. To
Yeah.
me, the art is that and being a part of that. And I find joy in that as well.
Yeah.
Is like look at everything you've done and look at how much you've changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, to me, I'm not interested in one photo. I'm interested in a decade of photos.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll have people, and then meanwhile, I'm not mad when you ask this, but I'll have people say, oh, who's someone you really want a photo? Like who's a celebrity you really want to shoot? And I'm like, I have no interest in that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in working with people who are interested in working with me. And if they'd like to collaborate over time, awesome.
Yeah.
But like just the idea of like, I'm going to go into, one of those fancy hotel rooms and do a shoot. Why? What does that mean? What relationship is there? I'm interested in photos that are
Yeah, what's the value?
Yeah, I'm interested in photos that are a document of a relationship over time.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested.
I
This
mean,
I'm
this is
interested in.
this is
Yeah.
like a living document, you know?
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, it's just crazy, Mindy. It's crazy. I like, opening for him was, like, a huge deal for me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that being like, "Whoa!" And then this to this, like, from this to this to that to this, like, is just so crazy.
It is. You worked through all of this.
Mhm.
You were always showing up, always trying to get better,
Oh
and
my
just kind of
god.
always pushing.
Damn, I'm gonna fucking tear up.
I've had this theory for quite a while that you could read the archives and tell who was going to be successful. And the way you can tell is the number of times they show up.
Damn, I gotta start leaving my house again. No, yeah, I mean, I was obsessed. I've always been obsessed with comedy. Like, you know, I was lucky enough to have gotten sober before I started.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, fuck, my sister's in these photos. You know?
Yeah.
She would go to my open mics. Like, she would go sit at my open mics and, like, watch and be like, and I remember being like, "Can you not smile so hard, like, when I'm up there? It's, like, embarrassing." Yeah.
You could see her.
Yeah, I could see her and she would be like, the whole time, and I'd be like, "You gotta stop, like, there's 4 people here, you know, like, this isn't." But yeah, I took all of the obsession that I had with, like, getting drunk and drinking, and I really threw it into comedy in a major way. And, yeah, it turns out when you have an addictive personality, if you put it into something that's useful, can can provide results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And the way that I live with it is I like to do something towards my work every day.
Mhm.
And so that's how I regulate it.
Yeah.
So if I have a day where I've done a photo shoot, well, then I've clearly done something towards my goal and I feel really good.
Yeah.
If I have a day where I've edited, kind of same. Vacation,
Yeah.
I don't like so much.
No.
The anxiety just begins to build. And by the time we get to day 7,
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, I've done nothing towards my goals.
Yeah, day 3, I wake up, I go, "Why am I still here? What am I doing here? This isn't where I live."
It's not relaxing to me.
Yeah.
Relaxing to me is living in New York City,
Yes.
coming to my studio,
Mhm.
doing something cool
Yep.
with you.
Yeah.
Now I'm relaxed.
Right.
Now I'm good.
Now I feel like myself.
Yeah. I don't know that there will ever come a time when I enjoy a vacation. Um, to be determined, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, right now, no. My idea of a good time is in my studio. Thank you so much.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so these next ones, you came in for this is just a fun day. This is just us in studio being us.
Yeah, I think I hadn't taken promo photos since Whiskey Fist, really.
Yeah, you just needed some promos. But this is a fun, and I'm really grateful that we had this day. We ran through a bunch of looks,
Mhm.
had a good time with it.
Yeah. It's had to have been recent, right? Was that this
So this is February of 2025.
so a year ago, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next time you're in is July 29th of 2025. And that's going to be for your book cover.
Right.
But I think part of the reason why we're so happy with your book and the cover is that you had just been in. We had just been like just working through ideas.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
I love this photo. This is my tour poster, my current tour, and I've been using this as well. And this is my author photo for my book.
Yeah, so this is July of 2025. And this is us in studio with the full team. So we had Morel here.
Yep.
We had Dangle on lights and helping out.
I remember I hired a stylist, and I was like, I want to do, for my book cover, I hired a stylist. I was like, I want to do like, I sent her a bunch of pictures of like outfits I liked, and about half of them were just Drew Barrymore in the 90s. And so she got me this outfit that I'm wearing these jeans today. And we took all these other photos. I remember this was towards the end of the shoot. We started just playing around. And I love this photo. Like, I don't know what I'm going to use this photo for, but I have to find something for it because it's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Mine too. And then this was the book cover for Fully Baked. And I remember calling Mindy and being like, here's the concept. I want to be coming out of a cake. I want the cake to be like a real cake, and or I want it to look like a real cake, and maybe we put it like on a table and I come up through the middle, or I don't know, like I wasn't sure how we were going to do it, but I was like, I know that we will find a way to do this. And you contacted
Sid.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is an actual practical for real prop, not photoshopped.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious when they unpacked it. I was dying laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a big hole in the top, and I was wearing a halter, and I was like, well, screw it. Let's just, it just looks like I'm coming out through the top of a cake. This is like the scariest.
Yeah.
I remember showing this picture to my daughter when I got home and her being like, no, I don't like it. But now it's the only photo she ever like requests to see. She goes, can I see Mama popping out of the cake? And just out of the blue, she'll just be like, can I see Mama pop out of the cake? And she wants to see the videos of it from that day, and she wants to see the photos. She loves it. She like loves this photo. Now I'm starting to realize it's like because I look like Barbie. But that's, yeah, she like loves that photo. And this one I love because it feels so like, I don't know, like Gwen Stefani or something.
Yeah.
Like that angle in the 90s. This is like a much softer version of it, but there was that like, what do you call that?
I have no idea, but Steve Madden,
yes.
the campaigns with the big head and the little feet. Yeah, it was very influential for a lot of us. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's Morel and Christina. Oh my gosh. There we go. There's our girl.
So there's phone photos, I think, of both of us around the cake. But yeah, I think Daniel maybe did that one.
And we have the final book cover.
Yeah. So is there anything you want people to know about the book before it comes out? Or is there anything you're nervous about?
Yeah, I'm really nervous. I've been recording the audiobook for a week, and which is why my voice sounds like this. And there have been parts of the book that I have not been able to read because I can't stop crying. And like when I was writing it, it didn't feel that emotional. It just felt like just telling the story. But reading through it now, there's 2 chapters in particular that I've been like, okay, we have to stop. I have to go like collect myself and I'll be right back. Because yeah, it's funny. But like a lot of my jokes are dark. And I think the reason why I'm able to tell jokes about where I can like make light of like pretty dark moments in my life is because like I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't, like, been to therapy and worked through it myself. Like, there was a lot of, like, processing that went on before I ever bring something to the stage.
Yeah.
So, nobody's gonna laugh at something that I'm uncomfortable laughing at. So, I have to do a lot of that, and the book is basically, like, it balances the two. Like, I really allow people in. I really feel like it's so personal, and I'm really nervous about that because I don't think that I present as, like, a very sensitive person, um, but I totally am, and like anyone who's, like, a tough cookie, I'm 100% like a soft little fucking crybaby on the inside, so yeah, I'm just like, when I read the book, I'm like, "Oh, fuck, like, everybody's just gonna fucking know this about me now." And there's a part of me that's, like, a little sad to give that up,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, when you finish a special and you're like, "That's just theirs now. That's not even mine anymore." Like, I mean, it is my story, but it's, like, it's a little tough, you know? And I don't know how my family's gonna react, that makes me nervous, but, you have to be honest in your writing or nobody's gonna fucking respect your writing, and nobody's gonna get anything out of your writing. So, if you're writing to help with the purpose of, like, hopefully helping others and making them feel less alone, uh, you have to be honest. So, yeah, I try to do that and balance, like, respect for the people in my life that didn't ask to be in the public eye.
Right.
That's a tricky balance,
Yeah.
especially when your stories are intertwined. So, yeah, but I'm really proud of it. I think that it's gonna be relatable to anybody who's ever, like, struggled to figure out who the fuck they are and find out, like, what their place is in the world and who's just, like, a late bloomer. Like, I've just been a late bloomer my whole life. But, yeah, there's some real integrity in being a late bloomer, I think.
I'm a late bloomer,
Yeah.
and I think
A
my
lot of artists are.
yeah, I'm so incredibly grateful that everyone else when I got my master's degree, everyone else had either a job or a solo show to head to. I didn't have any of that,
Mhm.
and I was lost in the wilderness for, like, 5 years.
Mhm.
But those 5 years, looking back, it's like, "Oh, it's so important that I did this far-flung thing that doesn't have anything to do with anything
Yeah.
because I met so and so."
Yeah.
And, so we're gonna talk to some of the people from that 5-year period in this project.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I think there's a lot to taking a little time to simmer.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Yep.
And those years are all covered in this book, and I remember going through them and being like, "Oh, that's right." Like, I taught yoga to Hasidic Jewish women for, like, a year and a half. That was, like, a day job that I had for a little while.
That's in the book?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I'm like, I fucking forgot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I taught yoga at 24-Hour Fitness for a while, and everybody called me the angriest yoga instructor. And
See, I think people would get that wrong about you. You're not angry.
no,
You're smart and incisive. There is a difference.
I'm a little fed up. But, like, if you're paying attention, you should be fed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little tie-tie, that's all, to quote Mike Cannon. Mike Cannon always says that, and now it's also become a part of my vernacular.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in forever.
Um, wow, Mindy, this has been incredible. I can't believe this. Like, I wish that we had done this before I wrote the book. But then, of course, we wouldn't have this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because so much of the latter half of the book is just these years of my life.
Yeah.
That like and so much you think about it, this is like this much of the shows that I've done. This is
Yeah,
like nothing
that's
of the
the
shows
thing.
that I've done.
You know, I think we've sort of figured out that you were at New York Comedy Club for a stretch, you toured for a stretch, and then you were at the show for a stretch, so you appear kind of periodically, but I think that's what's interesting about your archives, right? Is that you're away and you're learning stuff, and then you show up again. I think it's really,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I do love an isolation period. Oh my God.
but yeah, anyway, it's been wonderful to have you on, and we're very excited for the book.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm taking pictures of you. I'm taking pictures of everything.
Do you remember your first joke?
Yes, I do. So I started comedy in 2013, which is when every female comic had some premise about Disney princesses and how disappointing they were as an adult woman. And I was no different. I had this joke about how every Disney princess got saved by a man and how I wanted to see a Disney movie where the princess saved herself. Like I wanted to see a Snow White where she wakes up in a house full of dwarves and she goes, "Oh, fuck. I think I have a drinking problem."
I'm taking pictures of you. I'm taking pictures of everything. A woman likes to roam.